Okay, I think we are set. I need to wait a couple minutes for some people to come on. When you're here, say hey. There's the Sue Crafter, Ricardo. He's here, making sure everything's working. And I think I hear myself, ugh, in the background. I get a thumbs up, so we're good. Technical director says yes. I am just getting organized while we wait for some other people to come on. And so I have pulled out some of the ephemera that from last week, some of my favorite kinds of pieces, some of the bigger things, just thinking about focal points here for a second. And so I'm just going to kind of dabble in this while we wait for some other people. Let me know. Oh, there's Shalana. Hey, you. I think you might be the first one on, and you never know, you might be the only other one. So, oh, there's Sue Bushman. Hi, Sue. How are you? And so, let's see what's going on in everybody's crafty world this week. Shalana made some gorgeous cupcake cards. Hi, Cindy. How are you? And I love those. Those were so pretty. And let's see, what else? What have I seen this week? Oh, Catherine Pooler has an Instagram hop going on. If you missed that, we did that. Hi, Donna Reynolds. I believe did that start on Wednesday? It was the 16th. So if you haven't hopped along there and followed everybody and left comments, Catherine's giving away a $100 gift card. So you'll want to make sure you hop along and leave comments for everybody and play along with that. She's celebrating her 10th anniversary, which is so fun. I figured up that I have worked with Catherine probably, I think, for the last 6 years. So more than half the time. So that's fun. And let's see. I am crazy, crazy busy. Hi, Lisa Sachs. If you're a member of the Nashville Craft Retreat Facebook group, or you follow me on Facebook and Instagram, you see that I have been working crazy, crazy busy hours trying to get everything into the manufacturers for our holiday card kits. It's so fun. And who knows, tell me, who knows what the 5th day of Christmas crafting My Pretty Things gave to me? Who can tell me? Tell me all of them. Tell me, because we've done 5 days so far. So today I posted the 5th day. Who can tell me all 5 days so far? And then we'll take some guesses as to what some of the other things are. Today was really fun because I'm excited about this one, and I think it's a really good one because, you know, I'm creating things that I as a crafter would want in a kit. And so, hey, Ricardo. I have to ask Ricardo to bring my, yes, Sue Bushman knows 5 tag dies because there are 5 tag dies in it. But can you bring me my water with the electrolytes in it, please? It's on the counter, I think. You are right, Sue Bushman. It's 5 tag dies because that is exactly how many tag dies are in the kit. However, it's a 10-piece stitched and layered tag set because, thank you, there are 3 layered tags. There are layering pieces in there so that you can layer them up, or you can use the layering piece to cut out a window and turn them into shaker tags. And you know me, I'm all about a good shaker card and shaker tag. So, and then there's 2 little grommet looking pieces to go around the hole in them to make it a little bit sturdier, and just because it makes it pretty too. So there's 10 pieces and they're stitched because stitching is going to be the theme. I'm so excited. So Sue's right. Who knows what 4, 3, 2, and 1 are? Let's do that, and then we'll get started because y'all are on here. So hi, Laura Stahl. So 5 is 5 layered tags, What's 4? I need to see if I remember. I do, Sue. I love a good tag, especially at holiday season. And the fact that this has layering pieces, and then you can also cut it out to make the shaker. And I'm planning to put in the store. It won't be in the kit, but there's going to even be more layering pieces that you could layer the layering pieces on. Peppermint dies was, yes, Laura Stahl's right. We had 4 bows, and actually now I fibbed because, you know, more is more. So I've added the designer who's designing it for me. She came up with the cutest idea. She's even adding a bow tie in there. So now you get 5 layered bow dies, and they're all different sizes for all kinds of things. They're going to be so cute. So we have 5 layered tags, 4, which is really now 5 layered bows. They're so cute. I can't stand it. She and I were chatting. She's finishing them up for me now. 3 peppermints, which you get. I decided it was going to be 1 larger peppermint, because not to give too much away, but some things are going to be scaled for to be the size of tags. There you go, Sue Bushman. And to decorate packaging. I think that's what Angelica's going to do in her workshop. And so she was so excited, and like we were rattling off all these things to possibilities for the kit, and she was the one who said, oh, we need like a big peppermint die. So you're getting 1 big peppermint die, but then at the last minute I decided, well, it's so stinking cute, we need a little one that would be more scaled to cards. Hi, Bonnie. Yes, I'm live. I was live last week too. I don't remember what day it was. I think maybe it was Friday or Saturday. So I decided to throw in, it was supposed to be just 1 layered peppermint die. And by the way, it's got stitching on it. So stinking cute. And then I decided last night, I notified the manufacturer. I gave them the plan for a smaller one. We've scaled it down. I think it's about 1.5 inches. So it'll look really cute on, you know, cards and everything else. So you're going to get 2 layered peppermint dies. Oh, wait a minute. We forgot. Let's see. 4 layer bows. We forgot 3. Laura said it. Cakes, frosted cakes. Was it? No, 3 peppermints, then 2 frosted cakes. And really it's 1, but it's a 6-piece frosted cake. So stinking cute. It's 6 pieces. It's got even a background piece with the embossing on it, so you know exactly where each piece, and they just pop in together, so it's really easy. And it's got stitching, yay, and a cherry on top. So very cute. That's day 2, and then day 1, I think Donna got it, yes, and a discounted workshop fee. And I have decided to extend that. So if you know anybody, the whole kit now, who knows, it might be over $400. It's at least over $350 retail for $199, almost half off. If you are coming in person to the in-person workshops in November, that one is basically half off, but then you have the seat for the crop too, so it adds another $100. But if you can just do the virtual, that one's $199. So if you have not registered yet, the link is down in all the garbly-goo and the details. Go check it out. All the details are there, and get registered. And if you're going to be in person, you get the virtual workshop in October. I'm going to send you your kit. You can craft in October, and then you get to come, and we have 4 more classes, so you'll get 10 classes if you come to the in-person one also. So there you go. Let me take another drink and let's get started. That was a fun little trivia thing. Okay. So if you watched last week, you notice I'm not showing my face tonight. It's because I didn't feel like putting myself all together. I exercised, I took a shower, threw my hair up all wet, and didn't do anything, didn't put any makeup on, nothing. So you're not going to see my face. Last week, let's talk about what we did. We unboxed this fantastic kit for $50 from Spellbinders. The link's in the garbly-goo. We pulled out all the stuff that's in there. So excited. We sorted our ephemera. Number one thing when you open a kit, organize everything, right? It's kind of like cooking. You have your little mirepoix. So we're sorting all of our ephemera, sorting all the doodads. We organized our paper, remember? And I'm not going to go back through that. Remember how I walked you through my thought process on how I organize paper, the pattern paper. We pulled all that out. Let me get it right here so that we don't lose it. We pulled all that out and I walked you through my thinking and how I organized and put together the pattern paper, right? So you'll need to go back and watch that. And then we also talked about how I organize things. Talked about, what else did we talk about? I kind of just right away. Oh, when I opened up the wax seals, we talked about how color schemes were already going through my mind. This is a good frame of reference. Also, the cardstock that comes in the kit is obviously where you're going to go. Here's what I did off camera today before we got started. I took all of the colored cardstock and I went ahead and trimmed it down, 4 pieces out of each piece of cardstock, and I organized it by color, right? So that's all ready to go because we know we don't need one that's any bigger than an A2 size card unless you were going to create with the 5x7s. I'm not normally a 5x7 girl, but I know I've got other paper I can use if I do decide to use the 5x7s that came in the kit. So I cut all these down so they're ready to go. And if I need them smaller, I can use a die or I can trim it down real easy peasy. So those are all ready to go. I recommend doing that before you get started. Because I told you I have to create 10 cards. That's just the deal with Spellbinders. When they send it to me, they said you have to create 10 cards. So I know that's my goal, but if you're crafting for the holiday season, look, we even got more than 10 of the A2 size, plus we have all the 5x7s. I went ahead and took one panel and I covered 9 cards and then I left one white because remember we have that real pretty like linen look and I love a good white frame. Or a white background. Easy peasy, right? So I know this will get me started also, and it just makes your life easier. So go ahead and pick some cards out and cut those panels down and then get yourself going, right? This is a good base to start. Okay, something else we talked about. Who actually went, you can't raise your hand, you just have to say me, 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 me. Who went and pulled up sketches this week? Because that was one of your homework assignments. Your homework assignment was pick any card, any kit, whatever you had, a paper pack, gather up your ephemera, get it organized, and do all this stuff. The other part of it was, I said, go pull up sketches. Who went, I'm going to open up my iPad and get it to the right place. Who actually went to Pinterest or your favorite company and pulled up sketches? Hi, Sharon. How are you? Who did that? Raise your hand. Say me, 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 me. So here is my Pinterest board. By the way, if you want to follow me on Pinterest, it won't let me zoom in. I think Bonnie says she lives for pulled sketches. I think I'll tell you my Pinterest board at some point. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I have a whole board of sketches. Oh, Laura said she did too. So, and I've even been looking this week. Cat Scrappiness I saw. She's another company. She has sketches on her site. I think Gina K does. So go to your favorite card companies or your craft companies, and a lot of them are on their blogs. Just pull up their blog and look for some cards that you really like from their design team. And you don't have to copy their card. If you're just going to send it to someone, that's fine, but just don't ever copy, a designer's card and post it as your own on social media. Oh, Laura says she didn't save anything. Laura, how's that possible? Look, I saved so many this week and I already had a bunch. And see, this is what I mean. I saw this card and I really liked it. This one is from Queen and Company. I like how this designer put this together, this idea of these 3 little tags, same color, cute little ephemera or die cuts in there. And then look how cute. I'm sure that's like a die that they have and a little fishtail flag. I thought that was a cute idea. Cute. I consider that a sketch. So I'm not going to copy this card, but I can use that design, you know, as an idea for another card. So I will pin pictures of cards that I like for that idea. And so these are all different ideas and sketches that I pulled. Look at this one. Here's an idea. Look at how this one, I love a good white on white card. This one is, I don't know, I pinned it from My Paper Epiphany. It doesn't have a designer's name or a company, but look how it's got a frame right here. It could be a shaker, or you just have something interesting in the background. Notice it's white, white, white. And then we even have a white greeting, right? And then we've got a couple of colors. We've got red and green and gold. Gold's the neutral. It doesn't count, right? Easy peasy. But look how cute. She made a little focal point here, but it's framed in here. And then here's the sentiment. So easy. Does it count if I looked at every card made for the CP Hop by every designer? Yes, Donna, because did you see things you liked that you want to emulate? Then that's the same thing, right? So yep, it has a cardinal for Mikey. So all these I pinned. So I think we're ready to get started because I've got all these ideas. Uh-oh, here comes the big chocolate lug, because he's all nervous. It's thundering and lightning. It's storming like crazy here. So the big chocolate lab is scared to death because he's such a baby. I thought this was a good one just to get us started. I would guess this is a Stampin' Up card. I might be wrong. And look, just a solid background. They used an embossing folder. I pulled out some great embossing folders from Spellbinders. And the holiday ones I had in my stash, and we just need to, lots of layering on these quick and easy cards makes our lives really easy. There's no math involved, at least not a whole lot, right? So let's do this one. I think that's a good one. I found that one just today and I'm like, easy peasy, let's get it started. I have embossing folders from Spellbinders. I think these were from like last year's kits. And they're really cute, and any of them will go. Look, can you see this one with Christmas trees? I'm going to have to add these to the shopping list if they're still in stock. But any holiday one, any one with like dots or anything like that. Look at that cute one. And I even pulled out the Dina Wakley one from recently just because it's got, you know, interest in the background. Doesn't have to be even holiday. So let's see, I'm going to pull, and these are even good because they have holiday ornaments, which is, you know, the paper and some of the ephemera has holiday ornaments. So let's use this one. And you see how the sketch already got us started. Like I really had no idea where to begin, and we're ready to go. So let's pull a piece. It doesn't even matter. This goes back to Tim Holtz. Don't overthink it. Oh, Hagrid is a nervous wreck. He doesn't even know what to do. And by the way, look, before we do this, I started pulling real quick before we went live. I know I love that Dina one, Donna. Like the Dina stuff is fantastic. Oh, did you hear him? He's crying now. He's moaning. Before we went live, look, I quickly just started pulling things that I like to make focal points. I knew, remember last week we saw this cute train. Love this Santa and reindeer in North Pole. And then look at these cute little houses I found. And then I just pulled a big star. And I even pulled wreaths. You could do something with the houses and a wreath, and like a wreath. And then, and I kind of like made these. Something I wanted to talk about is, here's this cute little card. It says, "Dear Santa, my name is," and you could journal on it. But just pull some smaller pieces, easy peasy. Don't forget to use these little teeny tiny little flags and stuff. Put those here, like on the corners, just for interest. That's where you use things like that. That is a super simple thing, but like it'd be really cute. You know, don't overthink it. That's all I'm saying. And then I like this nutcracker and the sleigh. I love this hot air balloon. I love this one. I know that I have a sketch with like a little banner at the top. This would count as a banner, right? So we could put that. We could layer it with, I think there's a big Christmas tree somewhere in here. Like there's so many things. Just as I start, go back through. If you have not looked at your ephemera this week, go back through and look at all the pretty pieces so that you have in your mind what's in here. I didn't remember half the stuff. Look at the Christmas tree. Layer things together. We're talking about layering, right? So pull out the big things that, and start thinking about focal points. Sharon says it's not. Sharon, it is like pouring. It's like building an ark here. And it has rained off and on like every other day. It's crazy. So it's funny that down in Spring Hill, you don't have anything. Okay, so thinking about what some of these might be, like let's just start with something easy like this. Santa Claus is really easy, right? So let's go ahead. Maybe I'll even do the Christmas tree one for this one. Hagrid has to move because he's as close to me as he can possibly get. And let's go ahead and use, maybe we want a green background for Santa, or it could be white, right? We could stick with that white theme. Oh, and something else. See, this is what happens. You get so excited about everything. Remember this chipboard kind of, these frames we talked about last week? Look what I didn't know. I was going to pull one off. They're stickers. So, you know that white card I showed you? We could hit, now his nose is here in my side. I know, I see you, my buddy, and I know you're so worried. He is such a big baby. He didn't used to be this bad, but now he's like, oh my gosh. I think it's all the tornado warnings we've had, and we've had to rush to the basement. That's freaked him out now. I think we might want to use this frame, but I didn't want to take it off until we kind of had an idea. So now that I'm talking, I'm thinking we might need to just use this the way it is. And we could even use a white panel. And look, let's start from here. And, you know, we have to, once we put this on here, we have to be happy with it, okay? We're obligated, right? So we're going to put it on here, and it's just a little, oh, it's going to go mostly from top to bottom. And let's make sure it's centered. I'm not good at doing this stuff on camera. What I might do, there we go. I want to make sure it's straight. Sometimes it's stressful when you're live, you know, because you want to make sure you get it right. Is it perfect? No. But it's handmade and it's okay, right? No one is going to say anything to you. So there's a cute little frame. You see it? Now we've got a little bit of dimension, and I could have made that a shaker and that would have been cute. But look, I can pop everything in the middle here and it would be cute. And then we just put a sentiment on it. One card done. Look at that. Easy peasy. So now the one thing you need to know is these card bases, I think they have just a drop of cream color in there. So it's not a stark white, but it's okay with these pieces, right? So super simple. We could put this cute little Santa mail postcard in the back as just like something to ground it. And then we're going to put this North Pole, our Santa, our reindeer, and we'll put a sentiment on there. And look at that, one card done. So easy peasy, right? That's what we're talking about tonight. That's going to be my term for the night, I think, right? Okay, let's go back to what we were thinking. Let's do green for this train. And I'm thinking this might look good like this. So, and since we're doing trees, let's put this in here, right? Okay, gonna run it through my Empress. And I have to remember, it's been so long. I think I just used these. I might be wrong. It's been so long since I've done an embossing folder. I think for the Empress, you just use your metal shim and the magnet and the embossing folder. Let's see how. Nope, I need a plate. I can tell already. So let's see. And I'm going to put this on top. I think this might be it. Let's see. I'll let you know. We'll see. Yeah, I think that's it. I think it's going to be my plate, the embossing folder, and the magnetic shim. Okay? That feels, as I like tuck it in there, that feels like it's going, yep, I can hear it. Might need the metal shim in there because it doesn't sound like it worked too hard, but it wasn't easy. So I'll take a peek at it. Oh, I think that worked. Oh, look at that. Ooh, I love it. We got some good dimension on there. Look at that. Look, love it. That was the trick. So if you have an Empress, there you go. Okay, I'm going to move this. I'm going to put this back. Okay, I am looking at, okay, we need to trim this. Hagrid is right here. He's not going to let me move. Let me get the trimmer, Hagrid. Look out. Sorry, buddy. Okay, let's trim this down. Let's look at our sketch. We want to be a little bit smaller than our card base, so I'm going to just trim 1/4 of an inch off of 2 sides. Here goes the rain again. Okay. Let's see what color card base we might want, because now we have to pick. If we look at our sketch, they picked like a large pattern, which we could do that. I'm not the best at this, so sometimes I have to think it through. And we're not following this one now that I'm thinking about it because, but I'll show you kind of, you know what? I'm thinking if we look at this, kind of cheating wise, this is kind of like the background, right? But see how this got us started? It doesn't matter if we don't follow it exactly. And we could even put it in the middle, and I can put a piece of paper going all the way down. And then you see how it got us started? Does it matter that I'm not following this exactly? No, because all I needed was something to give me some ideas. So now I'm going to put this on a card base. Here are my card bases. And I need to pick a color. I'm going to pick a color that will layer with the green and our engine. We could get something that's not going to interrupt too much, and that would be kind of cute because you can put something with more stuff going on. Or we could go with a lighter color. Look at this one. Let's see what this looks like. This might look good. Who says they can't emboss with the Empress? They are wrong. No, you can. Oh, everyone always says that. No, I emboss with my Empress all the time. Like, why would you have a machine that you can't use on everything? And you know, I love the Empress. Like, I think the Empress is everything. Oh, I like that one. I think that's going to be really cute. So here's our background, and let's pick the color that is very neutral. How about this one? Okay. So if we put this on here, I think that'll look good. And this could be more of a masculine one. Maybe you want to give this to, you know, a grandson or a husband or a son. Okay, let's look what we have going on here. Okay, so if we put this on here, that'll break it up a little bit. And you don't even have to. Just something I had pulled out and was thinking, layers, layers, layers. See, Donna? See how it comes together? It's really pretty, right? And honestly, I'm not good at this. So I love that we're thinking through it together and we're walking through it now because I'm kind of a stickler for these things. Let's figure out how wide this tag thing is, and I'm going to sit this on this stuff because I don't want to move it. So my tag is about 2 1/8 inches, or yeah, about 2 1/8. So if we add one to it, that'd be 2 3/8, right? So we can go, oh, wait a minute. I was wrong. That was, yeah, 2 1/8 makes it 2 3/8. Look at us doing math. And we'll do one on each side. Cut that. See how these little trimmers are so nice? And yes, I do use two different ones because I think one works really well for some things and one works better for other things. And then sometimes you just grab what you've got, right? So look, if we take this and we layer this in the middle, it's going to be just a little bit bigger. And we don't even have to. If you're going for ease, don't do another piece behind this like they did on the sketch. We can be easy and we don't even have to add that piece in. We can be a little bit lazy because we've got enough going on, right? If you wanted to, you can add another layering piece. You could do the pink, you could do the darker tan color, you could do a blue color, whatever you wanted, but we're going for ease. So let's go ahead and take this down. And something I don't know if I've ever mentioned before, if you're making a card, you want your tape to be as close to the edges as possible. It definitely goes to the mini album making in me because you do not want paper to roll up and, or kind of pull up. So you want your tape to be as close to the edge as possible so it all sticks down and it looks nice and professional. Oops, I tore that a little bit. But no one's going to see it. Make sure my card's opening the right way, okay? And you know me, I would normally be using lots of dimension, but I'm keeping everybody in mind because we don't want to spend a ton on postage. And I would definitely recommend getting the non-machinable stamps. I'm a big fan of those. There's that. Look how pretty that embossing folder looks. And let's layer these pieces up. I'm going to trim this one first. I know that one needs to be, what, 4? This one's going to be 4 because I'm going to make it the same length as my, so this one actually is 5 1/4, right? As my little green panel. I want to go from top to bottom. And I want this to be at the top. And then we're going to do it just like that in the middle. Okay. So again, let's take this down and you can glue. I'm just trying to go for what's fastest right now. I might glue so that I could be sure to get this nice and neat down. And there's a little hole in there. Make sure you pop that out because it's just one of those details. Pop that out and don't put tape behind it, right? You could put glue up there if you wanted to. And I'm going to put this upside down so I know it's nice and straight in the middle. I will sit it on my table and then eyeball it for being in the middle, but now I know it's going to be even with the top. And then tape on that. You're going to need lots of tape, right? So, did anybody order this kit last week after we unboxed it? Because it's so darn cute. Seriously. I know, Laura, isn't it awesome? I need to add it to the supplies list because I forgot to add those. So let's do this. I'm just going to eyeball it in the middle. Try to get it straight. Okay. there's that. Now, if you want to, you know, I am going to pop this up. I didn't want to put all these things away because I had already grouped them. So we're going to move these over so I don't lose any of these little bits and bobs. And here are these little pieces of candy. Look, talk about peppermint candies. It makes it a sweet season. I love that. Okay, so now's where we start grouping and layering. It's all the layering. If you wanted to just add this train and a sentiment, that's all you need to do. Now, you know me. That's not going to work for me. I got to add in all the stuff. So I can put like the little holly there and then start looking. You know, do we need a sentiment? What do we want? Merry and bright. May all your wishes come true. You could put that there. I would definitely layer this with a piece of cardstock behind it to give it a little bit more zhuzhing. Well, good for you, Laura. I don't blame you at all. Happy holidays can go right here. I would definitely layer this one. This might be a good one to layer. Don't get stressed out about it. Look, Christmas wishes. You can put anything on here and it's going to be great. So let's first get some foam tape on here. Okay, getting my scrapbook.com, my 3mm tape. Now, does everybody feel better? Does this help get you started and you see how the thought process goes? I don't know about you, but we talked about this last week. Sometimes it is like you just start looking at it and you get all excited about all the pieces. You open it up and then you're like, oh no, now what do I do? And it's like Rich says, the analysis paralysis. You just don't know where to go. So I hope this helps a lot. Because it even helped me to kind of talk through it and think it through. Donna says she did, Bonnie did. So I'm going to put this right in the middle, or at least eyeball the middle. I'm not going to. And then I want to hang over about the same. So there's that. And now I would maybe put that on there. You don't have to go crazy, but put whatever you want. Layer some, I know there's some cute little florals and things like that in here. You could even put your little, he's a little bit big, so you can't put your nutcracker head in there. Just looking to see what we might have that might be cute to layer. I know I have lots of pieces here and there, but I think this one's okay. We'll add a little bit of foam tape. Let's just add one square. These are also foam squares from scrapbook.com. Love them. So look, we can pop that right there. Little bit more dimension. You might need to add another one back behind it since we didn't put any at the top of the train. Think about these things, you know, when you're creating these, it's all the little details, right? Because if not, it's going to kind of smush in the mail especially. So there's that. And then I have these little peppermints and we can add these kind of on top here. You can pop some with foam. And then I would put these two like just here, and then maybe this one, you know, you're going to do it just like that as something extra. And so let's just glue these a little bit. Don't forget with the foiled pieces, let me think where's my other white one? Hold on, there it is. don't forget with these foiled pieces, if this white one, if you wanted it a different color, you can ink blend right over it. The foil will resist the ink. Wipe it off with a dry cloth, and then you can make it any color you want. So don't forget that too. I want to make sure. Same thing, you know, these sentiments. There are a lot of these foiled sentiments in this kit. So don't forget that you have that kind of little trick in your pocket. Okay. I'm going to cut just a little piece of one of these foam squares okay, so I got to tell you guys a story. Gaby messaged me, text messaged us today, and you know he's at drum corps, and I messaged him this morning when he said good morning. I said, oh, good. Laura had one. Yay, Laura, that's awesome. I'm glad. And tell us why you had never used it. Was it kind of some of the things that I said I get worried about? I don't really like this. I have to tell you, it needs something more. It's getting lost, right? That's getting lost right there. Not a fan of that. I'm not going to worry too much about it, but in all honesty, if I were going to do it again, it's just not enough. It's not, it doesn't detract, but it's kind of a waste. You know, there wasn't enough there to make it interesting. So, it's okay, but I'm just walking you through my thought process. Now, Merry and Bright, I don't want to cover up that. So we're going to put it here. I'm going to layer it on a piece of cardstock, and we could do red, we could do the green, bring the green back forward, whatever floats your boat. You could even use this color, let's see, or bring the tan color back in, right? See, that kind of matches the wheels. Let's go with the green and see. Nope. Don't like that either. I'm going to go with the tan color. Don't overthink it. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, no one that you give this to is going to say, should have used red on that, right? No one will know. So this one is, I'm measuring, eyeballing. I'm just going to make it to this first line and see how it goes. Strip. I definitely, like I said last week, I've got more paper collections. So you were overwhelmed and that's why you never used it, Laura? Is that what you're saying? Because that's exactly how I often feel. And I had hoped that this would help someone. So I'm glad. Because, and like I said, I honestly, you know, I struggle with knowing where to use all of the ephemera and, you know, all the bits and pieces. Like, what do I do with it? So I loved the ideas of pulling out the sketches, and I had hoped that it would help someone else. So I would oh, you can't see what I'm doing. Sorry. I would always kind of layer this, or else it would get lost. Okay. If you have corner rounders, you know, I'm going for speed. If you have corner rounders and you want to, you know, round some corners and make it even fancier, mine's a little bit crooked. Don't tell anybody. That's great. Let me find a little piece of foam. This is why we keep all of our little scrappy doos. And once you get started, like this first one, you'll be on a roll, right? And now you see how, do not feel like you are married to the sketch that you started with. That just got me started, and that's all that matters, right? I needed some help. It did its job. I could even put this up here. That wouldn't look too bad. Might even look better. I could even go under the holly. Yeah, I'm going to put it up there. If you don't like it, put yours at the bottom, okay? Or it could even go off to the side, right? No one is going to say anything. That wouldn't be bad either. But I'm going to go under the berries for the holly and right up above the card. I'm looking in the screen to see if I'm getting it straight. If I don't, oh well. We're going to do the best we can, right? I like it on top too. There you go. And because we have, remember how I said things should be connected? Because I tucked it under the berries, your eye kind of knows where to look because everything's connected. Remember I talked about layering and connecting things? Even that little bit makes a difference. So there you go. Woo, one card down. We did it. Okay, I talked a lot in the beginning, so we could have gotten more done. But there's one. Okay, let's look at another sketch and see if we have some ideas. These are some of the things. Remember, I already pulled out some focal points. I was thinking these houses could go together. I even pulled out this wreath thing and the star, thinking those could somewhat go together. We have this little card. Don't forget, this could even be tucked into a pocket. And I just pulled out these little doodads so you remember. And look, see how they're layered and connected? These little flags are so cute. Layer them on in the corners of things. And then this little mailbox, easy, right? Only 9 more to go, Laura. But believe it or not, I'll be much faster. I'll get them done tomorrow. Lickety split. I've got these pulled out. And so we've got some other, oh, where's our Santa? Here's our Santa one. Let's go back and do this. Look how easy this one will come together. I'm going to put this back here. You could even ink blend it if you want to, but we're not doing that because we're going for speed. And I'm not going to pop this one up with foam tape because I'll pop Santa and all these bits up, okay? So I'm just using glue now if you want to know my thought process because it's easy and fast. So this is going in the middle. I'm going to try to get it straight. And we'll pop Santa up. And let's figure out what we're doing first. I want it to say Santa here, Santa mail. And I'm thinking we'll probably put our sentiment here at the bottom. And we'll need the North Pole here. And we'll put our reindeer here. See that? See how it's grouped? See how it's layered? Super easy. Cute, right? So we know we're going to glue this on. Let's pop Santa up with some tape. Going to figure out where I want him. Right here under Santa mail because I don't want to cover that up. Right? So I know, okay, my North Pole is not going to be stuck behind the foam tape and not be able to put it where I want it. So I'm going to put him down. And look, he's kind of in the middle, so that works out perfectly. Put this North Pole, I'm going to glue this one on. This is just in the background. Layering piece. Okay. Pop this little reindeer up right here. Let's get a sentiment before we forget. Figure out what we want. That's going to cover too much up. We've got all these, look, happy holidays. We could put this at the top if we wanted. Nope, not going to work there. Merry Christmas, because you know Santa would say that. And we can even put that down there. Don't stress and don't overthink it, right? Okay. We'll put that down there. You could put it up at the top too, again, if we wanted. I'm going to layer this with some red. since red's our theme. I could do pink too, but no. Because there is pink on the little card thing. Okay. Red's obviously our dominant color, so you can't go wrong using that. That's the safe bet. I'm going to pick this up without touching the glue, and maybe not. Put this here. I always like to glue mine usually before I trim. I think it makes it easier. Okay. Don't use too much glue and it squish out. This one is where I would use this one so that I can see exactly where I'm going, right? Because it's got this little wire. Trim it. Pop it up. Let's figure this out. I did not put my deer because I wanted to see where the sentiment was going. See how we're getting heavy at the bottom? But I don't like it at the top either. We could put it over on the side and then put our deer kind of going this way. This isn't perfect, but like Bonnie said a minute ago, Gina would say it's better than horrible. And we can put it underneath. I'm going to put it to the side, and then it can look like our deer is going this way, and it will move our eye across. Is it great? No. But are we going to stress about it? No. Okay, and I'm just going to, what did I say I was going to do? Put it right there. So I'm just going to do some glue. Okay. Everybody got quiet. I'm going to take it right to the edge and show just a little bit of this frame. And then Santa's little boots can go right over the top. Kind of the same idea as earlier. And because we put glue on it, we've got time, we've got wiggle room to put it exactly where we want it. And now I'm going to pop the deer. There's a little gnat flying around here. I bought peaches at the grocery store. And so, of course, now I think I have some fruit flies. I knew that would happen. That drives me crazy. Let's pop him up. I might even put 2 foam things on him. Watch. Oh, hi, Joanne. Hey, Joanne. I saw your pen order and it will be shipped tomorrow. Thank you. You are going to love the green and the red pens because they're perfect color for holiday, for the holiday cards. So good choice on those. And thank you very, very much for your order. And it will be shipped out tomorrow. I did not make it to the post office in time today. Okay. Let's figure out where this guy is going and where I need. Okay, he can go this way and be going off the card, and that way it kind of coincides with, I'm doubling up the tape. To use the ones in our swag, and they are super smooth and lovely. I know, aren't they? Everybody says that, and I have to say, I agree. They really, really are. They're like fantastic pins. I love them in every way. And I'm glad that you love them too. Aren't they fun? And I love all the colors. And like I said, the green and the red Oh my goodness. You'll use it on all of your holiday cards. Okay, I doubled it. Look, see how he's popped up even more than Santa? That way. And see how he's going to the edge of the card? So your eye will move left to right. Okay. Is it great? No. But as Bonnie said, better than horrible, right? It's okay. It's very bottom heavy. Very bottom heavy. But not sure that there's anything we can do, and I'm not going to worry about it. No one that you send this to is going to hate it. They're still going to love it, right? Like it would have been nice if maybe we didn't layer so much here. And I am not good. I will tell you, I am not good. We should we should have started with our sentiment and figured out from there, right? I'm not always good about that, to be honest. Normally I get so excited about the cute little images. Look, Laura Stahl, now we have 2 cards made. Yay. So cute. Very cute. Very cute. All right. Let's do. Sorry, I took a drink. Let's think about this one because these houses, that's like an easy peasy one. Let's look at our sketches again to maybe give us a little bit of a guide. But you can see how these kind of look cute. Oh, let's do exactly what I just said and find a sentiment before we get going. This would be one that maybe we could use. I'm all about these banners. Hint, hint. You may be getting banner dies with sentiments in your holiday workshop kits. I am kind of obsessed with banners right now. And it's kind of funny that I saw these in this kit because this is like what I had in mind. So be looking for little banner dies because they are everything, I think. Like I'm obsessed with bows and banners and stitching right now. So you're going to see all of that. Let's see what we think. This does not have to be like this. It would be okay, right? Let's see what else. We've got Christmas cheer. We've got the happy holidays. Sparkle, December. Since we have a little pink house, the little pink one underneath might not be. There's a Merry Christmas. This green one might be better. See, because we have our pink house, that one might be cute. Oh, Bonnie, I'm so glad. Well, I got to tell you, I've been working on this stamp set is the one that I'm working on right now. So I'm putting together, it's going to be a coordinating. Right now I have it as 3 or 4 different banner dies with a coordinating stamp set to stamp all the prettiness, but yet you aren't fiddling with all the extra pieces like a layered die set. I know. But it'll be a stamp set to stamp all the shading and stuff, and then we'll have sentiments to stamp in, so you can do and to and from and all that. So that's my thought process and what I'm working on. So there we go. Look, how easy is that one? And we didn't even need a sketch for it. We didn't. Santa one, we used a sketch because that was the idea from, and look how cute with the star above it. Look how easy that is. Let's do this one. This one, I don't want just gold. And look, I need to trim the top of this card. If you have a panel that, see, I always sit it down and line it up like this, but we need to trim that top off. So I don't want to use this one because I'll trim that off camera. We could, let's see what we've got going on. We could do pink in the background with this, and let's look at a piece of paper. Oh, there's my needle for my glue. We'll do one more and then we'll be done. And at least I got you started, right? Look at your kits. Look at sketches. What else? Get everything organized. Cut your paper. Get everything ahead of time ready to go. So look, all we're doing now is organizing and layering and figuring out how we want things to go. figuring out what we want in the background. If you have more solid pieces, you can use kind of a busier background and it won't kind of distract from your focal point, right? If it's too much, if you can't handle that, go for a little bit of a smaller pattern or more of a solid one. Just play with it. Nope, I don't like that one at all. And I don't think I want a light one because the houses are really light color. So don't want a plaid or a geometric. That would be, I think that would throw my eyeballs off. We could definitely use one of these darker ones. I would not use pink because you have too much pink going on. It's too light. We need the contrast, right? Green might be good because look at the green with the pink. I think that is so cute. I love green and pink. And then we've got the light green that might look good. We could also put these on not if I use that star. I want to use the star because I like that. Up above, we've got the houses, got the Merry Christmas. What do you think about that one? Easy. That looks good. Okay. We could do another layer, but I don't think so. Let's just do it the easy way. And, you know, use pretty dies like rectangles and scallops and things like that. I'm just going for ease. And if you're going for quick and getting it done, then you do the same thing. Don't worry about fiddling with all the dies and everything, but you can. It's cute. 4 by 5 1/4. And something else you can do is ink the edges. We've talked about that before. It's kind of a nice finishing touch. I'm not going to do that tonight. It kind of does. You're right, Sharon. I was reading your comment. Kind of leading you to the house, right? This card needs a little trimming too, but not that big of a deal. Okay. I might have trimmed that even a little bit smaller and narrow your frame of focus, your real estate, right? You don't have to. Figure out how you want to put your houses. They don't have to be nice and neat and all in a row. And I would definitely layer them. My finger has sticky on it. Might put them like this. Spread them out. Let's see. And then I really love this big star, like right above the houses, right? What do you think? Do you like the big star? It does lead your eye there, and it takes up a lot of room, which is nice when we've got it to fill. What do we think about that? I think that looks cute, right? Don't stress. Don't overthink it. So we have to figure out, though, where that's going and where these are going. These could go all in a row and look like a straight line. I think that's good, right? I like the star too, Bonnie. It's a good one. It's a keeper. So let's glue these down, and then we have wiggle room. I think about right there, right? And then I will pop the pink one up. Okay, that one's good. Anybody have any questions before we wrap this up? Any questions that you have about getting started with your kits? Everybody good? Going to pop this one up. Let me see. Oh, and don't let me forget, I want to show you one other thing before we're finished. And I don't know, what I might do is finish the other ones off camera and create a video, and that'll be the third video in the series, and you'll see me make the other ones and my, at least the thought process in it. And then that way we'll have a 3-part series for this one. And I think that would be a good number for this, right? And you'll be able to see all the other ones too. I have a question. Oh, wait, kidding. I like watching along. Ha ha, Ricardo. That's Ricardo. I didn't even know. Can you believe he watches? That's so silly. I hope he's watching as a guest. It counts as time, right? Look at him always. He's a good guy, right? I hope he's got chicken made. That's what he was making for dinner. So there's a little tab. I want that to be done. I'm going to put this in the middle. Kind of covering the one door, but it's okay. Of the tan house. We could even pop our star up, or maybe we'll pop that up because I'm all about that. Okay. And I would probably add a little bit to these little points, or else they're going to indent and yay, Laura, I'm glad. Yes, I will. All I have to do is hit record, and as I finish the other ones, and then that way it'll be a 3-part series, and you'll be able to see all the final makes. And now that we're on a roll, look how fast it's gone. I mean, when have I ever finished 1 card in a video, in a live, much less 3? And look at it, we're at 8:08, much less 3, all in one night. How about that? Yay me! Sharon needs the star, needs some shimmer on it. Well, it's foiled. Look, it's foiled, Sharon. Can you see it? I think it just wasn't showing in the camera. Rick, normally I'm the chef, but on nights like this, normally Ricardo will make something for me. He's done more lately, cooking lately. I'm going to take this to the top, as Bonnie said. I'm going to kind of put, you know what? I'm going to put some glue on it so we have wiggle room. Sharon says, oh, I know you can't see everything on camera all the time, right? I know. I got you. Okay, now I have some wiggle room and can get this just right. I want to see a little bit of the green at the top. And get him perfect. That's why I added glue. Don't forget to do that. And that way, you've got time to get it perfect. Even though it's got foam tape back there. And because we added foam behind the points, it'll look great, right? And now our sentiment. I'll pop that one up too, because more is more, right? Oh, Ricardo says he loves to cook. I didn't know he loved to cook. That's good to know, Ricardo. Look what I learned. Yay, thanks, Laura. I'm glad. I wasn't so sure about it. But remember, Our number one rule, don't overthink it. I love that Tim Holtz said that last week in that video I was watching, because he's right. These are quick and easy cards. Not supposed to, remember, there's no crying and crafting. Nobody that you give these handmade cards to is going to say, I wouldn't have put that together, or I wouldn't have put those colors together. They're going to just love that they got a handmade card. Once again, I'm going to put glue on this so I have wiggle room. Yay, Donna, thank you. I hope I've inspired everybody to pull out some things in their stash. Or if you got the new kit, you've got some ideas to get you going. And once again, I'm going to put this right over here, and it's even going to kind of go up. See how my house is kind of centered now? And yes, it can touch my house because now it's connected. See that? We have a focal point. We have the little star above the houses. Look how cute that came out. Love it. When I worked in hospital food service. Ah, see? Look, we got 3 cards made. Yay! Y'all, give me more. Look at that. I made 3 cards. I made 3 cards. I'm so excited. Only 7 more to go, as Laura would say, but that's okay. Because when have I ever made 3 cards? I did it in just like, what, half an hour? So, there we go. And they don't need anything else. Put a non-machinable stamp on them. You can add all the foam tape you want, right? And send those off. Make sure you stamp your stamp on the back. And don't forget, I showed you when Zoe sent me her pictures. I'll put the link for the little cellophane baggies if you want to pop yours in one so that they stay nice and clean and don't get dirty. Yay, Laura, I know, right? Good job, me. And look, I've got these other 2 things ready to go. So you'll see something. I hope I didn't lose my little mailbox. It's hopefully somewhere. See, I was afraid of that with it being on the desk. There's one if I lost the other one. So look, I've got more. And we have all these things to use. One other thing real quick that I did off camera before we got started was I just took a circle die because I knew we had all these circles, and I cut out some pattern paper to put behind it to layer, because I want to show you, I like a couple of these sketches. You know, we used that one that had the circles, but there's some others. You know, just because this sketch has like 3 rectangles, don't think you couldn't put circles, right? Or here's diamonds, you could use circles. But here, look, 3 circles right there. So I had already, there's lots of circles on these. I had punched out some circles just to kind of layer up these circles that came in the kit with the paper, and you can use foam behind it. Makes it look really interesting, looks nice, makes it a little bit bigger so it takes up more real estate, right? Becomes more of a focal point. I know, Laura, I'm not going to lose that. We have 2 of them, but I won't lose it. Oh, I will lose this needle, though, if I don't put it in here. So before we came on, I was doing that also. That was another prep work that I did. And by the way, here's a trick. Because this paper is it's definitely like a layering paper. It's not cardstock. It's probably what we'd call 40 pound, maybe 20 pound, maybe 20 or 40 paper weight. I put 2 pieces together and cut 2 at one time. Easy, right? So more prep work done for you. The more prep work you have done, the less you're fiddling with other things as you get going. So there you go. Look for part 3 as the filmed video of the other 7 cards. Okay? Thanks everybody for watching. Don't forget, if you have not registered for the Sweet Memories virtual and in-person workshops, the link is in the Garbly-Goo details, and the kit is still discounted right now for $199, and it's easily becoming almost a $400 kit, I have to say, with all the things I'm adding. But I just can't help it. I want what I want, and I keep adding stuff to it. So it's just so cute. We have all the bows, we have the banner dies, we have the layered tags, the frosted cake, the peppermints. What else? There's just so many things. I'm not going to give any more details away. I really need to keep some secrets, right? Because we'll have to do an unboxing. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions, don't forget to like this video, please. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notifications button to be notified. And if you missed last week's, please go back and watch it. Even if you put it on in the background, we need to get those watch hours going. So watch part 1. Share some of your pictures of your makes too. Thanks, everybody. I will see you. If I don't see you earlier, I'll see you next week. Okay? Take care. Bye-bye.